All right, why are home prices rising at such high rates? And let's just talk about like first time home buyer houses, right? So anything from like, I don't know, 100 to whatever that goes up to. Well, it's simple, right? Supply demand. There's not a lot of supply, huge amount of demand. And it's not just there's not enough supply, there's not being new supply being built because it's not profitable to build first time home buyer houses, right? It's like impossible, it doesn't make sense. A builder would probably lose money if they were to build a house like 1,000 square foot, 3 bed, 1 bath house on a basement, right? And then try to sell it. They'd probably be losing money on it. So it's not profitable, so they're not making any more of it, right? Which is a problem. So what is happening to make these prices go up the way they are is, let's pretend that you're selling this house for 100K. And it's a nice house, right? First time home buyer house, 3 bed, 1 bath, whatever, it doesn't matter on the house. But let's just say you're listing it for 100K because that's pretty much the highest comp in the area. So you're like, we're gonna list it for 100K. Obviously, there's like 1 million people looking for this. So you have a whole bunch of showings, a whole bunch of offers, so then you end up doing highest and best. And let's just say for easy numbers, someone buys it for 110, okay? 2 months later, the guy next door, he's like, okay, I wanna sell my house. And they're gonna pull up comps and they're gonna say, hey, look, this house sold for 110, this house is the exact same, we can list for 110, right? Same thing happens. Bunch of people looking for houses, bunch of offers, highest and best. Next thing you know, that house ends up selling for 120. All right, the guy down the street even more, he wants to sell his house, let's just say we're at like 6 months later. And he's like, well, the highest comp is 120, so let's put it for 120. Same thing happens, right? Highest and best, someone pays 130 for it. So this is how what's happening that's driving all these prices to go up like this. Maybe it's not going quite as quickly as that example, but you get the point. That's why the prices are going up. So it's obviously a supply demand issue, but this is what's actually causing it, like at the root, is because houses are selling for more, making that the highest comp. So when a bank goes and appraises that house, they're like, okay, so this sold for that much and this sold for that much, so this thing's got to be worth that much. So they end up loaning, right, that house that could have been worth 100K at the beginning of the year or at the beginning of the season, and a whole bunch of other houses ended up selling for 130. Now that house is going to price for 130 and the bank's going to loan for 130, right? And then that's the biggest and highest comp. So hope that makes sense, but that's pretty much what's happening to kind of get the home prices rising the way they are, which is pretty crazy, right? But that is how she goes. So hope this video made sense. Hope you have a great weekend.